Hello everybody, my name is Alex and today we are going to talk about the Civilization 6 DLC bundle and we're going to discuss the idea of whether it's overpriced or not, and I'm basically going to give my take on it. So this video idea came about because in the comments I regularly get notifications of people telling me how the DLC bundle, that being Rise and Fall and Gathering Storm, for £32 or about $40, how it's basically a rip-off, they don't want to pay that, they feel it's unacceptable, and they feel that at the very least it should either be sort of discounted even more, or pretty much put in the game for free, because some people do think that the base Civilization 6 game is not complete without this bundle. So instead of replying to each comment individually on different videos, I thought I'd bring the conversation all to one place so that basically you can just know where I stand on this, and it's also an interesting topic to discuss. I also welcome anybody that either agrees or disagrees with me to let me know down in the comments, give me your thoughts, because I mean people think differently on different things. What is our starting point? Well, overall, I first of all just want to say I do not think that this is a rip-off at all, and I'm gonna go through today the reasons why I don't think it's a rip-off and why I think it's slightly harsh accusing 2K of ripping you off in this instance. By the way, I don't have my rose-tinted glasses on here. I know that Civ 6 on consoles does have a few issues. I just don't think this is one of them. The first point I want to address in this video then is the idea that on its own, the Civilization 6 base game is not adequate, and therefore it's only fair that they should have chucked the expansion bundle in with the base game to make it a full experience. And I just don't buy into it. I've played a lot of Civilization 6 and to be honest, I spent a lot of money on it and I would not have done it if I felt like that. And I'll tell you why I don't see it like that. So in my opinion, the base game on its own is a full experience, and there's a lot of reasons for that. The first one is that there's a reason it's a massive learning curve for anybody who's not played Civilization 6 to start with the base game, and that's because there is so much to do and learn. So in the base game of Civ 6, there are a total of 23 unique civilizations to play as. All of them have their own leader. Greece has 2 leaders, and they all have a unique unit, a unique building, and unique bonuses. So even just with that, there's a ton to go at. And if you think about it, Civilization Revolution only had 16, nobody complained at that too much. There's also interesting battle mechanics which you might not be familiar with, diplomacy mechanics such as trading, etc, etc. Districts, which are a major thing in Civ 6. You've got to build buildings in your cities, build wonders, and there's a lot of them. There's not as if it's just 1 or 2, there's an awful lot to build. Massive maps for a console strategy game. The Civilization 6 base game, on its own, there is still a crazy amount of things to do and learn, and therefore I just don't see it as a half-assed game. I don't see it as unfinished. On its own, the Civilization 6 base game is a very good experience. And just think about it, when this game first released back on PC, for pretty much 18 months, we did not have any major expansions and people played and enjoyed the game. So, in my opinion, it's unfair to claim it's unfinished just because it doesn't have the expansions with it. You can look at it the other way as well. You can think, are you getting your money's worth, £32, around $40, something like that, for the DLC bundle on consoles? And I would argue yes. It's not as if they're just charging you this money for a few more civs and scenarios. There is an awful lot for your money in the DLC bundle. So you get 16 new civilizations and 18 new leaders. Just think, Civilization Revolution only had 16 leaders in the whole game. So even by just looking at civs and leaders, you can start to see you're getting a fair bit for your money. Another thing to bear in mind with the civs and leaders is they all are quite unique. They're not generic civilizations. They have their unique units, and they just bring different ways to play the game and different ways to approach every victory type. So there's a lot of content just there. Other big notable things from the DLC bundle are obviously the mechanics. So it brings governors and loyalty, golden ages, climate change, natural disasters, and the World Congress. Basically, they're the major bits of content you get in the DLC bundle, and just think, that alone is probably worth your money because it really does enhance an already solid game. The next thing I want to address then is that this idea that, well, you can buy it cheaper on PC and therefore we should have it at the same price on consoles. Now, although it's sort of true, and I mean, especially if you pick it up at a discount on PC in something like a Steam sale, you can get the base game and expansions for probably slightly cheaper. I don't think there's a massive great deal in it most of the time, but in general you likely can pick it up slightly cheaper on PC. But for me, just to come out with that fact is sort of ignoring the context of it all, and it's ignoring the context for two reasons. So the first one is that when each of these expansions first released on PC, those being Rise and Fall and Gathering Storm individually, they were like £30 each. So the fact that it came out on consoles, they came out on consoles together in a bundle, was a nice surprise for me because it came out at a discounted price, and in many ways we got kind of 2 for 1. So overall, on initial release, it's sort of cheaper on consoles right now than it was on PC. Now the second thing I'd say is that, why would they just give this away? Because they're a publisher, the developers, ultimately, as in any business in the world, and if you or I ran a business, we'd probably be quite similar, you're there to make money because that's what makes your business successful and allows your business to grow. I know 2K have a bad reputation, and I'm not here to defend 2K and the other things they do. I'm just saying on this occasion, I don't think we're getting ripped off. Also think about it. They can sort of charge £30 for an expansion bundle because on PC right now, fair enough, you have lots of alternatives. You don't have to go and pay full whack for DLC. Go and play Europa Universalis. Go and play another in-depth strategy experience. There's loads on PC. What on console matches this experience, really? In-depth strategy. Maybe there's 1 or 2 games, but there's not a great deal of variety, and therefore Civ 6 on consoles has quite a bit of a monopoly, so you're always going to charge a bit of money, aren't you, to get 2 big expansions, and fair enough. That's just how the world works, sadly. I wish it was all cheaper, but it's not, which makes me sad. So the final thing I want to address today is that some people in their comments say that we should have had additional content in the base game of Civ 6 because it was a port from an old PC game. And although I don't really see it like that, I look at the game more of a really good thing it's come to consoles, and it's a really good experience on consoles, and not as if they just ported some crap over for the laugh. I think already we got more free content than really other platforms got on Xbox and PS4. So on Xbox, the game came including the Viking Scenario Pack, also included the Poland Civilization and Scenario Pack, the Australia Civilization and Scenario Pack, and the Persia and Macedon Civilization and Scenario Pack. I believe it was for the Switch 2 that they came. So overall, we had that stuff already thrown in on Xbox and Switch, no extra cost. And on PS4 as well, you not only got all of those I've just mentioned, but you also got the Nubia Civilization and Scenario Pack and the Cayman and Indonesia Civilization and Scenario Pack. Now, if you add all that up for how much it'd cost you to buy on like Steam or something right now, that's about £30 worth of additional content just thrown into the game. Now, I think that's fair. Like, fair enough, the game's a few years old, it is a port from the PC, so we're not going to try and sell you absolutely everything. Just take this in the base game, just to sweeten the deal a bit, and that's fair. And I just don't think that it would ever have been realistic to expect every bit of DLC thrown in for the price of the base game. And overall, I'm personally really happy with what we have got, and I think it was alright. Okay, so there are my reasons why I don't think the DLC pricing for Civilization 6 on consoles is unreasonable, but what do you think? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you agree with the points I've made? Or do you think differently? Do you think the points I've made are invalid, and why? Feel free to let me know down in the comments. It would be cool to chat about that down there. Personally, what I'm really waiting on is a patch for the console versions of the game. Like, the PS4 online issues are ridiculous, and the Switch crashing is quite frustrating. So stuff like that is what I really want to see them fix in this game, rather than the pricing of the DLC. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. If you have enjoyed, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'm Alex, and I will see you in another video soon.